Okay.
I believe that the Minnesota Timberwolves are going to win the World Championship.
Edwards. They are advancing to the Western Conference Finals for the first time in 20 years.
Oh, it's on, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yeah, baby.
Fucking Stephen A. Smith is an idiot.
What the hell just happened? Ashwin, it happened again. This is our King's moment from 7 years ago. That is embarrassing. That was that night. That's right. Wow, what an embarrassing game. Pretty good for three quarters. Honestly, a pretty great game for three quarters. You had some really good moments. Then the fourth.
But what really matters?
Yep. Yeah, I mean,
you
that's
look good.
just...
You look like you're in Minnesota weather over there.
I am in Minnesota, in a bunker right now, which is what I need to be right now. Oh my gosh, I think Britt Robson just said it best. What can you say? You are what you are. You are what you do repeatedly, and Wolves lack poise and cohesion when it matters most. Repeatedly. Yep.
Oh man, I've missed his commentary all season long. I've been kind of removed from what he's been saying, but that's spot on.
Mm-hmm.
I think we were poised. We were at him. We were electric in the first three quarters, especially in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
And we really just had absolute control of the game. What happened in the fourth quarter, Cameron? We stopped really kind of doing any sort of play calling, just kind of chucked a couple threes. Nas missed a three. Dante missed a three. A couple turnovers here and there. A couple timeouts. No substitutions.
Yeah, the lack of substitutions was concerning.
I just like a big bottle of Jack.
It should be. I mean, also weird zone offense that we just apparently were like, you know what? It's been a 32-0 run or whatever. We're just going to allow it to keep going, and we're going to just lazily pass the ball around to everybody and just see if we can chuck a three at the end of the shot clock.
Jim Peterson stopped talking.
I know.
What a collapse. 40 points in the fourth quarter alone. You can see that with Indiana. You can see that with a Kings offense. The Milwaukee Bucks offense, which is really predicated on Giannis driving and getting to the rim, getting to the line, kind of slows the game down, especially when it's clutch time. They're apparently a really good three-point shooting team, but they stopped playing Kyle Kuzma and they stopped playing all the others, and they went back to Bobby Portis. Welcome back, Bobby Portis.
Yeah, bad timing.
And they just went small in the zone, and Gary Trent and I guess Kevin Porter really popped off in the fourth, and they took control. What happened to us? We decided to shit the bed both sides. We were just not attuned. Mm-hmm. And what was going so well, what was really hyping us up, what was going to be really exciting for the cascade here of the end of the season, I think is now just out of our hands now.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, I think it does hurt a little bit extra just because of the way we lost. I mean, realistically, we're set up pretty good for making it out of the play-in. Losing tonight doesn't help, obviously, and because everybody else, I think, is going to win tonight. But, some of these teams play each other, and we have two games that we absolutely should win. Not the Memphis game. The Memphis game will be a tough one because they have a lot to play for. I think if it wasn't like it was such a bad way to lose. I mean, to be up by over 20, by 25 or whatever it was, and to let that go, it's just not okay. And it's more concerning, less about seeding for the playoffs, honestly, and more about man, we just aren't ready. We're not ready for a playoff game. This is just not something that's acceptable if you're going into a game against the Lakers in Crypto Arena or whatever, if that's the way it goes, or if you're going against Houston, You got to keep your composure. And to not be able to gain it back once, you had 4 timeouts in the fourth quarter and you used them all, and none of the timeouts were able to compose yourself. Like, that's concerning. Rudy fights back at that one point, which the refs, that was just really dumb by the refs to let Porter or whatever just like stand
Whatever it
over him.
was.
Like, what? That's annoying. But it really is just more. And to Britt's point about what I just said from him, it's something that we've seen. I mean, we saw this a little bit last year too, but this is kind of a thing for this team, and it's just concerning. It's just concerning going in because, sure, I think we still have a really good chance at being the 6th seed or higher. You could have been, if you won tonight, you had a really good chance at being like the 4 seed and having some home crowd or home court advantage. But no, that is crazy. It also was bad timing. They had multiple people come back tonight. I mean, Bobby coming back is huge for them. I mean, that crowd is just it's the Nas Reed effect for them. So they love
Good for
it.
Milwaukee, honestly.
And also, we kind of allowed Bobby to kind of do whatever he wanted early, which I think was kind of setting the tone for him to have a good game. And then just stupid AJ Green again, just deciding that he's like, you know what, I'm chucking from 35 feet, and then he's just on fire all of a sudden. The other thing, I'm gonna stop blabbing here, but the other thing that's just so frustrating to me is why are we letting Porter again? The last game we played him, he dominates us, and we're just allowing to happen twice. I don't know. Got to be physical. Got to do something. But it's hard to talk about this game because really 3 quarters was pretty okay. Like after the third quarter, I was feeling great. I was like, oh my gosh, Dante's back, Nas is back. We're looking amazing. And then it's just, it is a game of runs. And I don't want to just say that it's only a Timberwolves problem. Like, this happens to other teams. It's not just us. I know it feels like just us, but it does happen to other teams. But that doesn't mean it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna get to the comments here because I forgot that we should do that. But a little rusty, I guess. I was just kind of stunned at the rotations in the fourth quarter where we had Julius and Nas out there and Conley out there. So the ball handlers are all kind of out there and not really doing anything except for causing just chaos within the offense. We're not doing anything like unique. We're just running into their zone and trying to feed into the zone. And it didn't really seem like anything really but heroic plays were making sense. Like Gobert started the fourth quarter as well and like had a tip and dunk. And like besides that, like a Dante DiVincenzo 3, we really weren't at all in rhythm. And I just question, like, why not just like put in, I don't know, a Jalen Clark or put in someone like a Nikhil Alexander-Walker to like hurry them, because they looked like they were actually in control, even though they were down 18. Like Giannis pulling up for 14, like from 14 feet away, was like, that should have been a calling card, but like getting a new style of defense ready for the next possession, because they were just we were just allowing Giannis to shoot wide open mid-rangers, basically. Kind of silly, to be honest with me. I think this is an everyone in totality problem. We just got up by 24 and we let off the gas pedal, and we're just like, let's let the players figure it out when the game matters more than any other game right now, because we need to keep up with the rest of the West. Memphis is winning. Probably Lakers will probably win. Probably Golden State's going to win. So we're fucked in that regard. So I don't like this mentality of like flow, Finch's flow. We don't have any stray voltage, but we have no energy right now. It felt really wild and crazy. Let's get to the comments though. Exactly. Welcome to the 9,000 point club, Anthony Edwards. As I hit that, your light like flashed.
I turned the light mode on and it went
little
crazy.
Beacon of light there. That was interesting, but he shat the bed in the fourth quarter. I was very, very embarrassed.
That was very embarrassing.
What I saw from him. He was just like chucking for no reason. Terrible possessions. KG, TD, 21, welcome to the show. If we lose this game, we better fire Finch. I guess that's not out of the question now. People like are just getting canned left and right now. Mike Brown, and then Taylor Jenkins, and then what today?
Yeah.
With 3 games left,
To be honest,
Denver fires Coach Malone.
I'm not super surprised by that. I mean, I've been watching a lot of Denver games, and they're kind of in shambles. They're kind of broken. They did not seem cohesive. I mean, the timing is definitely weird to have 3 games left in the season, but this is becoming a little bit more normal in sports in general, where people fire the coach or the GM or somebody before the end of the season. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm saying I've seen it more because they're trying to get like a head start on the next season, I guess. I don't know, but um, yeah, that was crazy. But I don't know. Hey, maybe Mike Malone to the Timberwolves. Who knows? I don't think I want.
Yeah, like 3 games left in the season. Let's do a swapsies. Spotted
gosh.
in Twins target set or target field. Finch holding a snow cone of someone else's. And then,
Yeah.
are you nervous? Are you nauseous? Are you concerned? Are you blow this team up type of mentality right now? Because I'm not like there at all. But like the
Yeah.
playoffs are not. I don't think they're going to be resulting in what we want this year. I think. Oh my god.
Sorry, I'm changing my lights all the time.
Yeah, you're distracting the shit out of me.
My orange face was driving me crazy.
We don't want no orange face.
It's true. We are very against orange faces here. Yeah, no, I'm very nervous. I think I kind of let up a little bit on my nervousness over the last couple weeks, I guess. Not that it's been super smooth for us, but I've just been kind of like, maybe we do have a chance to do something in the playoffs this year. I definitely, I've said this before. Last season, I felt like there was a chance where we could go all the way to the finals. Like I really felt like that was possible, especially after the Denver series. But even before then, I felt like there was like, even if it was a small chance, a chance. I've never really felt like there's a chance that we make it to the finals this year, unless you got to have some crazy like Ant and Dante and Nas all are just like going absolutely crazy. So I just don't see that. I could definitely see us doing something in the playoffs, like winning a series maybe, but yeah, I mean I'm worried. But at the same time, coming into the season, if I go back to what Cam 6 months ago or whatever, 8 months ago was telling himself, I was saying that this was going to be more of a down season, not a bad season, but a season where it was going to be, my prediction for the season was like somewhere in the 45 to 47 wins. It seems like that's where we're going to end up. And it was going to be not the same like top 4 of the West situation. And that's what it's been. But the ups and the downs of the season get you certain places and get you hyped. So yeah, I guess I am nervous now about the playoffs, but it's only because I let myself get nervous and not listen to myself from 8 months ago.
This is instant reaction. Like hashtag
Yeah.
zero analysis, no numbers here.
Yeah.
But like 5 turnovers from Julius Randle. Like something's got to be like, let's maybe not force feed Julius Randle the fucking ball. Let's maybe like not have plays called for him. Ant had it going, and we could have probably just lived and died with just Ant chucking from 3 as a worst case. He was nowhere to be found in the fourth quarter. I'm nervous because this first 3 quarters were like singing. We were singing. And what made us think that we could just let off the gas? What made us think that, hey, any given Tuesday, a team won't come back 24? Let's just like throw it in the towel. I'm nervous, Cameron, and I'm nervous for the next game. That's Memphis, who just lost Jalen Wells probably for the season, and so they have so much to play for, and they're they have a lot at stake too, because there's so much unknown there. I think they're going to be like galvanized from this loss, and you could see right here when they just kicked the crap out of Charlotte. We play them next. I know. This feels unknown now to me.
Yep. Oh yeah, for sure.
We're gonna lose games, dude. I get it. We were even throwing preseason predictions like because we're savants here. Yeah, we weren't gonna get to the same kind of roadmap that we were last year. We weren't gonna get to the same highs of like 50 wins plus and like getting to game 7 against Denver. Like that would be a miracle, if not like
Be
a
crazy.
bonus for this year. We are growing into a new mode of team, and like now we're seeing like the best of Rudy Gobert, culminating to the best of the season late
Mhm.
late in April, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But we didn't go to what was working. We went to this other crap in the fourth quarter, and it was just not working. I'm very nervous, my friend.
Yeah.
Conrad,
Me too.
Randall is trash too, trying to post up Giannis all day. I could not understand that.
Yeah.
We could get into the Julius when we get into the tier list, but Julius posting up Giannis multiple times.
Just he was desperate to get that bucket. Apparently, I don't know. It was very uncomfortable.
It was very uncomfortable.
But I was accepting when we were up by 20, so I was like, okay, fine, yeah, go get your bucket or whatever. But
I wonder, Go Wolves, if it's as easy as that. And I wonder if like Tyler
I don't think it
Malone
is.
is actually our fix our problems.
I don't think he is. I mean, the coaching thing is so tricky because really bringing in a new coach can just galvanize a group, not because of that particular coach, but because they've had change then. So I don't know. Everybody turn the ball over. Here, I want to highlight a couple comments.
Yeah.
Some that we some generous commenters that have paid to skip the line. I appreciate you all. Crone, I'm serious about funding the giveaway if you put everybody Glenn Taylor. I don't even know what you're talking about. But okay.
50 likes when we do a giveaway.
I guess, yeah, 50 maybe. No, 75 likes if we do a giveaway. I'm pissed tonight. It's no point in Love Fan Dina. I don't know if I'm saying that right. It's no point to go into the playoffs. Each coach sees that if you throw zone at us, we are going to do absolutely nothing. Maybe we're saving it for the playoffs. No, we're not. That's Cope. But seriously, that is a problem. Crone with 10. We can bribe you regardless in the tier list, right? Oh my gosh. Playoffs, not saying it's 100% going to happen, but y'all need to be prepared. Well, see, okay, and this is actually a great point. This is why I have been like desperate.
I'm not prepared for that.
I'm desperate to not be in the play-in because of games like tonight.
Yeah.
We can't do a one-game thing. I much rather believe in our ability to come back. Like if we got spanked like this tonight, I think if we had a game against the Bucks on Thursday, I'm not saying I'd feel fantastic, but I mean that we have a chance to come back then. But in a game, clearly we cannot course correct from getting shook by this. So we need a 7-game series to have a chance. Because if I really think there's a possibility, even though we're going to be in the 7-8 game, if we're in the play-in, I don't see a win in because we're gonna have to go up against like the Kings, of course, like flashback crazy, or whoever else is. I don't even remember what the other team is. I don't remember who it is, but somebody in the 9-10, which I also don't trust. So I just
Sacramento.
It's the Kings and somebody I don't know, but either way, that this exact quote the comment here is why I am desperate to not be in the play-in because this game tonight.
Oh yeah, back to Crone.
For real. I mean, I'm ready for next season.
Dude, what? We did not do a show after the Philly game or whatever, but
also frustrating.
Also a frustrating game, but whoa at how it ended, right? Whoa at how it ended. It was remarkably fun to watch that ending. But we were pretty excited. Just a couple of days ago, Cameron, we can't be as bipolar as this team is. We have a lot of love to give to this team still. I'm not ready for the season to be over, Cameron. You asshole.
Well, I mean, I'm excited to be in the playoffs. I'm excited to see the playoffs because I want to see what this team looks like and what we need and all that stuff. But as I said at the beginning of the season, this is just going to be somewhat of a down year. And knowing that we can't make the finals makes me just want to be like, okay, let's fast forward to October so that I can see what the next revamped version of the Timberwolves looks like. But yeah, I'm sorry. I'm as bipolar as the team. I can't help it.
I'm
This is why all the
this is a
podcast people
fault
do this
of
the day
us,
after.
just generally as fans. We are very hot and cold, and we can't process through losing without like blaming and scapegoating and
Yeah.
passing on the blame to everyone, from D'Lo to Corey Brewers to other ye who shall not be named. Like now it's like, who's left to blame, right? And so we have a Randall, we have a Finch, we have a Conley, team worst. He was in there for like 10 minutes of the fourth quarter, and he didn't do anything.
Yeah, it was bad.
He pressed up on Kevin Porter for 5 seconds. Like that's his whole
Yeah, yeah.
fourth quarter stint. Yeah, sorry, Butterfly. I don't know. Like I'm trying to not,
Yeah,
but
no,
also
you're not.
so,
I am, and I think chat is. But
and I'm very impressionable, right? So you just come on with your orange glow, with your cave
it
like
was the
behavior.
orange. The orange brings out the worst of all of us. Wow, that transcends basketball. But no, for real. The other part of this is that I know a lot of people watch the show after the live stream. Um, this is a live stream 5 minutes after the game. So, like, it's very hard to not have these super reactionary moments. Both people in chat and me personally. Like, I'm coming out of that game and I'm like, what is Ant doing in the fourth quarter? This is why the Dane Moores, the John Krasinski's, the whoever, all the podcasters do this over 24 hours after the game, usually, because then they have time to process it. Because I'm going to wake up tomorrow, I'm still going to hate this night. I know I'm going to hate this night, but I will have semi-rational thoughts about it. I maybe had a couple peek through where I was like, we're still probably going to be the 6th seed or higher just because of our schedule remaining and everybody else's schedules remaining. But for tonight, we're blaming everybody. Just kidding. But we are the 8th seed now. Yeah, well, we could have been the 4. There's positivity. We could have been the 4. Tier list time.
It's been a while since I've done this, so I'm gonna just, and I can't see chat or anything, so you can run chat if you don't
I
mind.
will run chat.
We have A1, Cash, Nice, Meh, Wancho, Old, Glenn Taylor. I don't remember the tier list at all. This is an old one. And we don't have Bones Highland in here.
Oh,
Sorry, bud. I think Finch was a big fat Glenn Taylor tonight.
I think it's hard not to put him there tonight because
Um,
it just stops with him. Even though there's there are things that you can point out, but anytime that a team is going to give up that big of a run, the coach is part of it. So
Cameron, though, like the fourth quarter mattered the most. The final goal, the buzzer sounds we lost, that matters. How we lost matters probably even more. But like the first 3 quarters were kind of sensational. So like, what happened? Why did we get so shaken? Why did we lose this? I'm very curious about post game commentary.
yeah,
But
I
let's
don't
move
really
on.
want to hear Ant. I don't want to hear Ant. I don't want to hear Randall. I only really want to hear Finch. Maybe Mike, but even still, I'm kind of sick of it. Yeah, Jalen
Nikhil
Clark.
Alexander Walker, 15 minutes, 4 points, 1 for 5 from the floor. He didn't see a whole lot of time. What gives?
Didn't. I don't know. I don't really know. I felt like he was okay out there. Did you say how many points did he have? Oh, okay. You guys had 16 minutes. I thought he had 16 points. I was like, no way.
4.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, he wasn't really scoring much, but I didn't necessarily feel terrible with him out there. I don't know. I don't really have much memory because you're right. He didn't play much. Might have been nice to throw him in there. Just something different.
Yeah. Right.
Yes, go Wolves. Hang the banner. We could have been better. There's your positivity. I love it.
Moving on. I didn't really hear any grades from you, so I'm just moving on.
Sorry, yeah.
Hey, what was super exciting in the first half, especially, is when we substituted Conley and Goberian out early, and we put in Dante and Naz Reid.
Mhm.
Holy crap! They came out blazing
fun.
hot. Nas Reed with 17 points in total, and Dante with 24. My God, 6 for 10 from 3. So I'm going to put them together. I'm just going to throw them together. Dante DiVincenzo, Nas Reed, 24 points, 17 points, a couple rebounds, a couple assists here and there. Dante with 3 turnovers, but between the two of them, they had 9 threes, 9 of our 13 threes.
I think I have the same grade for them, but I have slightly different take on both of them. I think through 3 quarters, I was ready to do both cash. They were both fantastic. They were both back, but they were both part of the fourth quarter. Now, I think Nas was a little bit more part of the fourth quarter where it was just like super gross elements of the game. Dante, when he came back, and especially late, he brought some energy and actually got some buckets at the end where I thought when we were down by 7, it was like 105 to 98 or whatever. He comes in, hits a 3, and then he comes in, he goes and he gets a 2, and then he almost had another 3 that I was just so certain was going down. It was going to be a 1-point game, and I was like, oh my gosh, we might do this. So Dante came back and gave me a little bit of effort. Long story short, they were both cash. I think the fact that this fourth quarter happened takes at least a full grade off. And I don't know if that just leaves them in nice or if that takes them all the way down to meh. If I had to, I'd probably be. I feel like they were both nice because they were actually good, but I don't know. That fourth quarter is so unforgivable. And Nas was out there. I feel like Nas was out there for a lot, or at least he was out for the part that I really didn't like. He was out there for 7 minutes in the fourth quarter, and he had 3 shot attempts, all misses, 3 rebounds, and no turnovers. Oh, he didn't have any turnovers, but still, he was just he was part of the offense that was just standing in zone offense, doing nothing. I don't know. What do you think? Is nice too high for people tonight?
Yes. But do we just put everyone in meh and below? Like, is that too harsh? Because I do think Dante DiVincenzo just found his shot back, and I think he could be maybe one of the nice players.
Yeah.
But I think Nas Reed, a lot of our lead went away when, like, the Gobert is sitting for some reason. Randall and Nas can't stop anyone in the paint, and Kevin Porter's popping off, going to the line, like 21 points off of like 10 free throws and everything. That's crazy, right? So I think maybe like as you said, cash early, but like a big drop to like probably meh.
Yeah, I'm seeing some wanchos in the chat, and Crone is screaming, "Do not put anyone nice." I do feel like if somebody, I do feel like I don't know. I feel like Dante probably does deserve nice because I feel like he did come in for that fourth and gave energy.
He wasn't subbed in until it was like the turn,
too
like
late.
the tide had completely turned.
Yeah, it was too late. But when he came in, again, that's a Finch problem. That's a Finch problem.
I'm putting him in nice, and then I'll go back to the comments and then just for tierflation. But
we might have some.
Finch stays here no matter what. We didn't see any Garza minutes or Dillingham minutes. Let's get to the starters. Mike Conley. There was another guy who I think Ryan Rollins or something that started this game and gave Mike Conley fits all game long. Like Conley didn't have any role tonight. Like I didn't see him at all. And I just kind of questioned like why he was on the court when we could just have more spread offense with more Dante or more Nah. I was really kind of peculiar. I was very perplexed by the need for Conley for like 10 minutes in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
I'm putting him in old, and I think old stays right around here.
Yeah, I think it could be old where it is right now. It was a game where if we were gonna win, like at the end of the third quarter, I was like, this is not a great Mike game, but he hit a 3, and we can just accept it, kind of. But it was gonna be like a meh probably, or like old tier was gonna be around meh, and then now the fourth quarter is just unforgivable for all the people that played over 6 minutes in the fourth quarter. It's just not okay.
I agree. That's 10 minutes of Mike Conley in the fourth quarter, 0 for 3, nothing.
Yeah.
-21 in the plus minus. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy to like have all these stats live that we get to see, and they're not. They probably have something. They probably have the acuity as well as like the heuristics as well as the stats to like back it all up to be like,
Mhm.
Conley's not doing anything. You know what though? Let's keep him out there. He's gonna bring the nice.
So this is too forward thinking of a comment, and we don't have to get into it, but I'm just saying it for the record. um the I don't know what the option is beyond. I mean, because like, sure, we could have brought in Naw tonight, but like when we don't have Mike Conley next year, or I mean, I think we're gonna have him next year, but like in the future, he's going to be a year older next year, which a year older this year was concerning. Like it was not a great year for Mike. So another year added on, like that's kind of scary. And Dillingham's not like close, like he's still a ways away. So we're gonna run out with, are we gonna retain Nah? Like, are we gonna do that or no? I just don't know. So it's I don't know what we do at point guard, because like even if let's just entertain these wild, crazy, probably not gonna happen things like Kevin Durant going to the Timberwolves. Okay, Kevin Durant goes to the Timberwolves. What was the main problem for Phoenix when they started their big three down there? They didn't have a point guard. So they run into the same issues where they maybe have a decent regular season, but then they go into um, the Timberwolves series last year, and then they get swept because they don't have a point guard to like set up the offense for them. So I don't want Kevin Durant coming here into like amazing. We've got Ant, and maybe we somehow retain Nas or Jaden, one of the two or something, and we have Rudy, but then we have no point guard. Is that going to work? Is Dillingham just going to fit into that? I don't know. I don't think so. I hope so. But anyways, that's a tangent for another time. What is that, dear? I wasn't even paying
I wasn't
attention.
listening. So
What
I loved everything you said so much that it just couldn't be. It can't be repeated.
what the Finch's flow? Yes.
Jaden McDaniels. I want to say.
Okay, I'm sorry. I don't agree with this Go Wolves. I don't think they can split ball handling. I don't think
Oh, yeah.
Ant turned the ball over multiple times in clutch time tonight. And Dante also isn't like the smoothest handle. They are capable of bringing up the ball and having a no point guard roster like lineup out there. But when you get to a clutch time, or you're down on 32-0 run or whatever, I want somebody that I know can. And I'm not saying Mike has been great. Like I think he struggled tonight with it too. But still, I don't think that's the answer. I think that's concerning. But Shabazz the Hamid, what is that?
I don't know, man. I'm just vibing with chat right now.
We got such
the
a
best way I
crazy.
can. I'm moving on. I think Conley was an albatross for this game in my eyes. But another one was Jaden McDaniels. Okay, let's just like kind of back up and see what we were watching in the first half. Honestly, it didn't look good from Jaden McDaniels on both sides of the ball. He had that really interesting block shot to force that shot clock violation, and he had a couple like forced plays that were like one-on-one in transition that went in and went like they were very weird plays. So like he got to double digits. He had 11 at halftime. Ooh, and Rebecca Brunson and Marnie Kellner were like talking and praising him up, right? 2 points in the second half, absolute zero on offense, but also equally, he couldn't do shit. He was like falling on the ground, getting no boards, 5 rebounds tonight, but most of them were in the first half.
Yeah.
I thought this is our boy, Jaden McDaniels. But this was seriously one of the worst games I've seen. And okay, let's just see that might be hyperbole. And the plus minus isn't like really accurately talking about this. But I just really disliked like him in the fourth quarter, no energy. When like
Yeah.
Gobert and Kevin Porter were getting into it, like at least they're like kind of showing emotion. Like Jaden is just like sitting in a corner, not trying to get open. And any of these like play calls that are like, oh, now there's zone. No one's moving. No one's shuffling their feet. He's just fucking sitting in the goddamn corner, watching other people pop off because apparently that's his role. But I question that because you could cut, you could make other plays and other motions happen, and you are just not adapting. Yeah. I was very, very disgruntled watching this lead collapse, but also no one doing a damn thing about it. Not that I'm like pointing fingers at Jaden or anything. That's weird that I'm now grandstanding on like a Jaden point, but like
Mhm.
I was pissed, and watching Jaden just kind of sitting there nonchalantly also kind of like revved me up, being like, this is the fucking problem. Like, there's so many other people here that could have been biting at the bit to like get in the game, and here you are sitting in a fucking corner, you know?
Yeah, also, I mean, there was a moment tonight where since I'm in Minnesota, I'm lucky enough to watch the game with my dad. And there was that moment where I think it was in the first half where Jaden had this wide open three where it was like the offense had
Oh
done
yeah.
all these screens and they just get that perfect pass out to Jaden for a corner three and it's clanked. And it's like, this needs to go in. This has to go in. We don't expect you to be um, some crazy offensive weapon for us. I mean, of course, we'd love that, but like, we're really not asking a ton. We just need him to hit some threes. And some of the stuff that isn't comfortable watching, like you were talking about early, where he's like somehow muscling the ball up. Some of those were okay, but some of those were like, I don't know. That's kind of lucky. That's like good Jaden luck. He's got good touch, I guess, but um, it's just a little unorthodox. But it's just it was for me one of those moments again. I guess like trigger warning for anybody that is going to be not wanting to hear negativity about Jaden. Um, but that's one of those moments where I look and I say, man, that would be kind of nice to have a Kevin Durant in this situation instead. You know, and I get it. I
Dude, let's trade.
understand.
Let's trade right now. We can fire coaches. We
Mike
can we can
Malone and
basically kill all art and creative businesses out there. 104% tariffs. Like fuck me. I can't do anything anymore about my career path. Um, let's just trade for Kevin Durant right now. We have 2 games left.
yeah, and I'm not like I'm definitely not trying to make this. I know this is going to be taken as like I'm ready to trade Jaden because he had one bad game. It's not that. It's just that those are the moments that I look at and I say, that would be kind of nice, I guess. Maybe we could trade defense for offense or something like that. But I don't know because if we lose his defense, which hasn't been as good this year, it's still Jaden defense. But um, it just makes me wonder, and I'm sure it makes GMs wonder. Um, but yeah, overall, it's just not a. I don't know. It was an okay game for Jaden, but it's the same thing. Everybody in that fourth quarter is just, um, it's just not good. He only played 6 minutes, I guess, in the fourth quarter. So I was looking, and I said earlier, anybody that played more than 6 minutes, and Dante was one of those. But which I'm surprised by. I thought he came in with 4 minutes left. Anyways, yeah. I mean, I guess we're putting everybody in what's the Finch's flow tonight, so that's my grade.
I mean, Ish is kind of correct here. Like, what are we doing here, Cameron? Overanalyzing this collapse, and it's just a collapse. It's like, Cameron, what do we do every show? We do a tier list. We grade them based off of this game, based off this performance, but it feels so like damning and
Yeah.
drowning in like negativity to like just like talk and overanalyze about something that's like the next game's gonna be so different, you know, and like the postseason's coming. We gotta cheer on the squad. It's just like, everyone sucked. Let's move on, kind of thing, you know? Maybe.
Maybe because the problem with this game is that realistically, you really did have 3 good quarters. I mean, they weren't perfect quarters, but like you had 3 pretty good quarters.
Yeah. Like if there was only 2 tiers, like what the Finch is flow and Glenn Taylor, everyone was what the Finch is flow, like in the first 3 quarters.
Yes, but no, like we really had some good moments and some good cohesion and just like good vibes in the first 3 quarters, and you're gonna lose all of that for one fourth quarter where you just like completely lost your head. Um, I mean, it's such a bad collapse, but you might just have to move on and be like, I mean, you need to have some learnings from this because this is a thing that happens. We talk about this all the time in the Discord about like, oh, we're gonna randomly let AJ Green go off, or we're randomly gonna we're up by 20. No lead is safe. We say that all the time, and it's like because we've witnessed that. We've witnessed it several times. Um, so you need to fix something. But going into Thursday, I don't know. I don't know what makes you take it seriously because you should have known coming into this game. Not only, I mean, not only can any 20-point lead go away regardless of your opponent, the Bucks have a lot to play for right now. They still have seeding to be decided. They brought players back for this game specifically because they know how important these last games are for them. So they're not just going to be like, you know what? We're down by 24. Let's just take the night off. So I know I was thinking about that earlier, Jake. This is seriously such a copecast.
We do got to shut the fuck up. We got to move on. Our team is fine. Like, I want to also highlight some other comments here too, but I just want to, like, Cameron, this is what happens when we lose in this fashion. It just really, like, puts a pit in your stomach, makes you, like, question things because, holy crap, were we revving 14-3 in our last game or 17 games, right? The losses hurt, but, like, losing happens. Cameron, like, in April, we're not trying to, like, guess and check and roll the dice. We're trying to, like, refine and, like not ask questions, but, like, refine our identity and, like, kind of tweak small things. Because we're at the best we've been all season.
Yeah.
A collapse like this really just puts in a whole lot of questions of, like,
It does.
so what was this all for?
But here's the positive spin. Oh wait, what does Grunt say? Ant's job being the number one is to figure out how to take control when it's spiraling. Yep. He needs to learn from he needs to learn from someone or we need a legit number two. Give us a Derek Fisher type. I know, I totally agree, but I just don't know with our roster and, like, okay, I think this was probably a comment back when we were talking about KD maybe. But it's like, okay, if we get KD, then we're still a second apron team because we still have Gobert. So how do we get a Derek Fisher type point guard with the money that we have? Like, I don't know how that works unless you're giving up a ton. Like, you'd have to give up, like, Randall, Jaden, and Nas probably. And I'm just like, I don't know if that's worth it. But we've said this before, Crone, and I mean, you've been here for it. But, like, Ant needs to be with a pro like KD or somebody else to kind of understand it, because truthfully, your comment about he needs to be able to figure out how to take over the game when it's spiraling is 100% accurate. 100% also why I kind of wanted him to have this season where he is the number one, not the 1A, not the 1B, whatever. He needs to be the guy so that it happens and he can learn through this, because he's 23 or 24 or whatever he is. Like, he still is learning. We're definitely getting close to not needing to be learning anymore. But this is good for him. So, but I do agree to a degree. He needs to have somebody that he can look up to, and I think KD is that one person that can really motivate him. Like, if we have KD on the team tonight, I'm going way too far into KD. But if KD's on the team tonight, is Ant just standing there in the fourth quarter clueless? I don't think so. So anyways.
Back to the tier list.
Yeah.
We're gonna hustle through this. Julius Randle. This was one of my least favorite games from him in the Timberwolves uniform.
Yeah.
What the actual Finch was that? 5 turnovers. Very costly,
new
by
tier.
the way.
I didn't even see that.
What's up?
That's a new tier, or was that the same tier? Anyways.
Oh, we're just going. It's just going wild. Whenever you go up on your tan tangents,
you just start changing names. Oh yeah, there's Crone Zone now. What the heck?
I mean, chat's cooking. We're barely saying anything, honestly.
Yeah, chat,
I feel
take
terrible.
over.
I feel like this is my, like, I don't know where I'm supposed to be right now. Randall, I hate this game. I worry about the postseason now.
Yeah,
I was kind of hyping him up a bit. Like, I love his crispy passing, but, like, then he's trying to throw a lob to Gobert when Gobert can't catch from behind. It goes over his head. It's like, it's April. Like, I think you should know who you're playing with, you know? So it really kind of bothered me about things like that. And especially that, like, late game past the, like, what was it? DiVincenzo in the top of the post? Like, that was some ass, like, decision making. Rudy Gobert. I'm not going to say anything super negative except for what a machine. He became like a 2020 kind of player for us, and then we went away from him. We went against that. He was noticeably frustrated for the majority of this game. Whenever he was out there, like not getting the ball, not getting any touches. A couple of his touches were just put back dunks. Like we could have like absolutely gone to him for some easy, like just quick, mindless points. Because I mean, Brook Lopez can't truly defend him. I think he can do a decent job, but they went small in the fourth quarter. They had Portis and Giannis as their 4 and 5. Like I think we could have actually gone to Gobert a little bit more than we did, but I'm not really faulting him. However, I don't know what the actual Finch.
Somebody said they want that on a T-shirt. Charlie Barley, yeah. I want the actual Finch T-shirt. No. Yeah, okay. Ingles can be in the Crown Zone. Man. What a
we have one
painful
player
loss.
left. I don't think you have anything, unless you have anything to say about Julius Randle or Rudy Gobert.
No, I don't. It's just to Ant now.
Ant, 25 points, 10 for 27. That is a Wiggins stat line if I've ever seen one. 2 for 11 from 3. Ooh, baby, that is ass. He got to the line 3 times. What happened? Like, he was playing a role in the first half where he was driving the rim, getting those awesome layups, like really like kind of patiently like finding his gaps and like playing well, but not getting to the line, not making his I think he was 0 for 5 or 0 for 6 from 3 in the first half. 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Like these are awesome, like additional stat lines to supplement like his actual game. But what happened in that fourth quarter, man? Like, do you see him normally do this? He usually does not like shit the bed the way that he just like sprayed all over the mattress tonight. Like that fourth quarter was abysmal. That's also a visual.
That is a visual. On the same day where he had a video come out that said if he hit a game winner, he'd take his pants off.
What a stupid ass comment.
Yeah, it was stupid. Yeah, I'm just so disappointed in this game, this fourth quarter from him, because the first 3 quarters were like high energy Ant. And I was like, I love this. We're coming out, because I was really nervous coming into this game because I was like, I just feel like we're not going to take it serious enough. The Bucks have something to play for. They're having some players come back. It's in Milwaukee. They're just going to be motivated. And I was like, I just don't know that the Timberwolves are going to fully, because again, I know this is insulting to the players, and luckily none of them watch. But I really like. I try to think like a casual fan going into the game, like an ultra casual fan, and think like, okay, what is this? What would a casual fan think about going up against the Bucks? They'd be like, oh, okay, Giannis, and that's about it. And that's what I kind of thought. I feel like the Timberwolves go into games a lot like that. I don't know if that's coaching. I don't know if that's just personalities. I don't know what it is. One thing Mike Malone is correct about, I think, that might have got him fired, was that he was talking about how he's like, oh, players don't watch film. I have to make them watch film. That is true. I think that's true for the Timberwolves too. I don't think Ant has said before that he's like, I don't really like watch film or whatever. And I'm like, this is a team that doesn't watch film. And then you get to the fourth quarter tonight and it's a problem. Anyways, back to Ant, fourth quarter. The first 3 quarters, amazing. I loved it. Loved the energy. I felt like this was a leader. And I was like, we're going into the playoffs with a head of steam. And then that fourth quarter was like, oh, he's years away from being ready. I get it. I'm overreacting. But like that was more of the shift that I had in that fourth quarter, because he immediately, it was not even like a run yet. It was like a 5-0 run or like an 8-0 run or something. And he was already shoulders slumped, just lazy passes, just out of it. And I'm like, how can you go from the energy that you just had at the end of the third quarter where he hits that 3 to go for like a 2 for 1, to the beginning of the fourth quarter where it's like, I mean, he had some time out. He had some time off in the fourth quarter, right? He didn't play the full fourth quarter, right? Let me pull it up. He only played 8 minutes.
No,
but
he didn't
when
play the first 4.
Yeah, when he came in, it was just like, that's right. Yeah, that's right. There was just nothing. I don't know. It just drove me crazy to see such nonchalantness when he's witnessed some of these comebacks before. I don't know. Just super disappointing night from him. 0-4 in the fourth quarter. 2 turnovers, 1 point, and it was on the technical free throw.
Dude, let's talk about right after that. So the technical free throw, the technical happened. I'm feeling okay. This pause
I know.
is gonna like let us lock in, zone in, talk
Yeah.
to each other, like yell at
Extra
each other
timeout.
even.
Yes.
And then we don't have Gobert out there.
We get a
We run
turnover
a play
immediately.
with Ant immediately turning the ball over.
Yes.
And then the very next play, let's give it to someone else. And Julius Randle coughs the ball up. Another Kevin Porter dunk. And game over. Game, set, match right then and there. That's not your 2 best players. Those are your 2 best players just like not tuned in to what actually needs to happen.
Yeah.
And I was very disappointed. But also, this is Ant taking on a leadership role, saying we don't need play calling because we're up 20 or whatever the fuck. That's Ant kind of like taking himself out of the game, because right after those 2 turnovers, he didn't do anything with the ball until the very end of the game. Right?
Yeah.
That's really sad. Like, we need you in the biggest moment, and he's like, let's find Dante DiVincenzo. You know what I mean? Like, that's fine. That's perfect. But it's also like, my eyes are focused on you. How are you getting this game back in our hands? And he wasn't doing anything.
No, literally nothing. And that's where I appreciate Dante. When Dante came back in with like 4 or 3 minutes left or something like that,
Yeah.
I get it. It was gone. The game was done already. But or maybe it was 2 minutes. I don't even remember. Whenever he came back in, he brought energy. And it's like, if you have him bringing energy and Ant bringing energy, he just got so tentative. And it's like, man, you're already down 7. Just play with confidence. Who cares at this point? Like, you're already down 7. Effectively, you've lost the game already. Even if you win the game, it's such a loss to your mental. Like, just go out there and play basketball. What does he say he wants to do? He doesn't want to be the face of the league. He just wants to go out there and kill dudes. Like, okay, go out there and do that. You don't have to be the face of the league. Just do something. I hate that I'm talking about this like Ant after he had such a great first 3 quarters, but this matters. The fourth quarter matters, especially when you're up 25 as a Timberwolf. And he knows better, which I don't like. It's not like this is his first time blowing a lead like this, which would be, I guess, more acceptable, but he knows better. So just dumb.
I agree with that point. 100%. Hundo, Wancho. Hey, and that's the tier list, folks.
What a fun one. What the actual Finch.
Let's get this crap out of our screen.
For real.
Let's get this. Yeah, no one died.
No one was dead. That's a positive. See, guys, we're working through this together. And remember, we could have been the 4th seed. That's another positive. And we don't play basketball tomorrow. That's another positive. But our schedule coming up, it's a back-to-back, a road home back-to-back. Grizzlies, Thursday night. Got to show up for that game. If you lose that game, especially in a fashion, this was a very Grizzlies loss. This was like how our games were in the playoffs against the Grizzlies 3 years ago. Or 2 years.
Oh my God, that series. You reminded me of like
so much like that.
Up 20, losing at the last quarter because Ant was like, I'm going to take a gamble. You know?
Yeah, yes. Oh, that play is, I forgive him because he was young and first time in the playoffs, whatever. But that was painful.
Like quickly, the focus, all of our like, not scapegoating, but like our problems are going to like focus on you because you're taking us to the promised land. You're taking us to wherever we need to go. It's on you now. And now, yeah, the youth, the excuses are, we can't really.
It's wearing off.
Do anything except for accountable now.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, Thursday night, it's a late game. It's 8:30 Central. And then Friday we play at home against the Nets at 8 p.m. Central. I might be at that game. I'm not sure yet. And then Sunday afternoon, against the Jazz, at home, 2:30 p.m. Last game of the season. Jazz will have nothing to play for. That's a dangerous thing. But no, for real, positivity here. Realistically, if we can win 2 of these 3 games, especially if we can, if we can go 3-0, I don't know if it's guaranteed, but we're essentially going to be the 6th seed. I think the winning against the Grizzlies is so huge. Because then I don't know if that wins the tiebreaker for you or if it ties the tiebreaker or what, but it's good. All I know is that you want Memphis losing this time of year, and we want to be winning at this time of the year. And they might be galvanized from, that's my word of the night, galvanized from Jalen Wells getting hurt tonight. So they could come on Thursday and be like, we're playing for Jalen. And they're going to be at home. It's going to be crazy. So got to win that. And I don't think I forget. I saw somebody earlier say, win Thursday and I forget about this game. I'm not going to forget about this game. Unfortunately, this was the definition of Glenn Taylor on the tier list. A game so bad that I'm not going to forget it, and I'm going to tell my children about it. But if you win, then you just got to take care of business against the Nets and the Jazz, and you're probably home free for a playoff series. Get a week off. If players are injured in any way secretly, they can heal up. You can game plan against probably the Lakers and figure something out. But
I mean, I feel like we were skirting around this topic, Cameron, for most of this broadcast, because I don't think I'm like smart enough. I don't think I personally am like aware of like what we can do, but like we can blame the players because that's what we see on the court. We see the result of a binary made or missed shot, a pass that is a turnover or not. But like a coach is like deeper than all this. We can see small X's and O's things. We can see substitution patterns. We can see some play calling. We've been seeing a lot of lack of play calling this season, and it's a lot of like, how do you understand? How do you feel in this moment? And can you get a possession to do what you want based off of like kind of standards of offense?
Yeah.
Like in this action, in this initial action, Randall has the ball. When Randall has the ball, spread out because Randall will get you open and will dribble, drive, and like get you a shot. And then there's other people that like when you have the shot, there's another guy open, so you pass it to that guy. Like this is really good, just like DNA to kind of like internalize. So then you're not thinking, you are just executing.
Yeah.
But then there's like plays where it's like, wow, we just saw Ant get an alley oop out of an ATO or like an out of bounds play. Amazing.
Yeah.
I've never seen that. I want all of that. I want that all the time. It's remarkable, right? Like we've seen some growth in this like vibes and like kind of understanding each other and everything, but also like play calling is probably improved. But then like we look at this like late game execution and we can kind of dissect it all we want, but like in that moment it's probably very hard to like corral players and like curb their emotion and like, hey, now we're running this play when Ant wants to take it over or Julius wants to take it over. Now our substitutions are off, and like all these things are probably just at a melt, like a boiling point of like emotion and like trying to control and disproportionate amount of like just like cohesion. We're just not there, and in a weird way, I'm not thankful whatsoever for this loss. This sucks. But we were really vibing, and when we had that 8-game win streak, people were talking about us, and we lost. We lost like 3 out of 4 or something. And then we like really then we like really kind of just like pushed through it, and then Rudy kind of took us to like for like a 5-game win streak, basically on his back in a lot of ways. And then we got this loss. This loss when we were cruising 24 at one point. It was feeling like a wire-to-wire win, and we were like, let's get ready for some Bones Highland. Apparently he's in dress clothes, but like let's get ready for some other people to just show up and like fill out the game because we are blowing out a team for the first time in a long time. I wasn't expecting this to go clutch. I wasn't expecting this to go down to the wire.
Yeah.
Whether we were playing. And maybe this
I
is
know.
me a little grandstanding, but like, I'm sorry, I'll shut the fuck up now. But like, it just felt like we lost control, and we have a really hard time kind of regaining control. And we need these types of losses to like go to the locker room and feel hungry, feel desperate, feel like the
Yeah, I know.
emotion of losing because you're letting yourself down before you're letting any fans down after a win like after a loss like this. This is the most embarrassing loss I've seen from a Timberwolves fan or from a Timberwolves standpoint in a while, and we've had the worst of them, you know. And this type of collapse is really going to like paint a picture for the rest of the West because now we're in the play-in. Now we have to fight for our position, and
Yeah.
now we're going to fight against like the scrambling teams are trying to get. I don't want to play against Houston. I don't want to play against OKC first round. That's
I
gonna be
know.
miserable.
Yeah.
And we were really excited. We were really like uh, anticipating a matchup where we're gonna play against like the Denvers or the Memphises or like you know what I'm saying.
Mhm.
Like we were excited about those types of first round matchups.
Yeah. I know. I to your point though, I think if you want to get punched in the face, this might be the best time to have it happen. Again, I don't like this because this is so concerning. This is more than just like a punch in the face. This is like concerning on so many levels. But this is a good time to regroup, get motivated again, and hit a stride to give yourself the best chance going in the playoffs and the play in. So yeah. Yeah. I don't know, Joker. That was a tough one. Well, I think that's it for us tonight. I gotta go. I gotta learn how to feed my parents' dogs. That's why I'm in Minnesota. Um, and it's a process. There's steps to this. I've got documents to help me.
Oh,
But before we go, Crone, appreciate you as always for the multiple super chats tonight. Love Fadina. Again, sorry if I'm saying that wrong. Appreciate you. You also had a couple.
yeah. Thank you
Cro-
guys.
Crone, seriously, I appreciate all of you guys. And I appreciate everybody that liked the stream, subscribed to the stream. We said we would do this even in 50-point losses, and this wasn't a 50-point loss, but it kind of felt like it. Yeah. Thursday's a new day, and we need to win. I think
Yeah,
I will say if we lose Thursday, I think that I don't want to be super negative, but I do feel like if we lose Thursday, it's kind of like the season's over. I don't know. Like if you can't motivate yourself after tonight to win on Thursday, I know they're going to play hard, but these are playoff games. These are playoff games. So if you can't win these, then you're not going to win actual playoff games. So we'll see. But anywho, I think that's it for me. Any last comments from you?
I'm gonna still go for another 2.5 hours. So
Oh, okay. I'll see you. Um, let's see. I don't know if I can. I'm trying to unhide
I agree,
things.
Mr. C. It has to be. That's the
Has to.
takeaway. That
Yeah.
it has to be a wake up call. We're
And that's
not
why.
that good, but
Yeah.
we've been like above average. We've been like kind of getting really confident and comfortable with certain things that are working in our favor. But
Mhm.
there's so much more room for growth. And we were peaking in April, so we were at our like best, and it looked like that against Milwaukee for 3 quarters. We were looking the part. I was proud. I was standing up, being like, "We're going to the playoffs, and this is how we look."
Yeah.
Whoa! I haven't seen this. We're making shots, and they're like clanking threes left and right. Whoa! This
This
has to be
is
a wake up call. This is a 40-point, like basically 40-point flop, like switch. It's like
yeah.
the worst type of loss.
Yeah. David
Not a
Peterson
buzzer beater loss. This is the worst type of loss.
I think this is the optimism we end the night on. We lost to Denver and Phoenix at the end of last season. Yes, we did. I think the last game of the season was Phoenix last year. And we needed to win to not play them in the playoffs, and then we lost and got swept by them in the season. But that's a good point. And
It
Mr.
was the
C,
point.
it was the point.
You know what? And shout out for Mr. C for real.
Yes. Shout out Mr. C.
And all of you.
And all of you. It's great to see you all. Sorry it had to be like this.
Yeah,
But
whoa.
it's sometimes how it is.
I apologize myself.
We were here after Game 7 in Denver last year. We were here after sweeping the Suns in the playoffs last year. We've been here for highs. We've been here for lows. We just had to have a low so we can swing back to a high at some other point. But anyways, 50 wins is no longer possible. Is the 6th seed possible? Yes, it is. Some other seeds might not be. I don't know. We might have been eliminated from 1 seed. I don't remember. But don't leave us with that.
Well, Crone, I don't know how to answer that question.
Yeah, I know, Crone. I don't know how to answer that either. Hopefully, we find out in the playoffs. What if Finch tanked the 4th quarter on purpose because he knew that Tim Conley was just going to be dead set on getting Mike Malone here?
The 5-head in him.
5-head move. All right, it's great to see you all. Intro is the outro. That's our only fun thing we can say anymore. We will see you Thursday night.
I believe that the Minnesota Timberwolves are going to win the world championship.
Edwards. They are advancing to the Western Conference Finals for the first time in 20 years.